Welcome back, everybody, to the Fit and Nerdy channel. Here for an update. Today, I'm not going to be doing any blood work stuff. That'll come in an update later because I will have a couple. I'll have a couple different blood work. One when I was still on Clomid, but off of HCG, or no, I was on tamoxifen, not HCG, for my PCT, I guess, if you want to call it that. And then blood work a couple months after HCG's out of my system, and all the drugs are out of my system, because right now I'm still on the Narcan slash Naloxone. I know that someone in my comments had advised not to do it, but I was just trusting the treatment course from Marek Health to see if it would be something that does work or doesn't work. So I'm just letting it run its course. I got about another month left, and then I'm going to be getting more blood work done. Like not as extensive as I have been before, but I will be getting more blood work done. I just wanted to just give you an update as to when will you see my post HCG blood work and compare it to my pre HCG blood work. The other reason why I don't want to do blood work is that I've been dieting down. I've gone from around 250. I'm sitting in the 230s right now, like around 235, trying to get into the 230 to 235 area before I stop dieting. I'm gonna go on a little bit of a diet break, and then once we hit the springtime, I'm gonna diet again. But I want to get blood work baseline when I've been off diet for a couple of months, so then it represents what my testosterone would be if I was in a maintenance kind of mode or a slight bulk, more in an anabolic state. So then it's representative of what my blood work was before I took HCG, because I wasn't dieting when I did that. So wanted to give a little bit of an update on that piece. So I want to take the time here to answer some of the more common questions that I've been getting on my channel, just to kind of knock them out one by one. If there's a question I missed, please post it in the comments, and I'll definitely make sure to catch it in the next video. I want to make sure that people feel like they're being heard, and that I'm actually engaging and responding. I'm trying to respond to comments, but I've been dealing with my house is completely filled with mold right now, so I've been dealing with that issue, and it's currently being gutted. So that's why I haven't done an update video in a while as well. Anyway, so getting on to the questions. So the first one, a lot of people have asked me, hey, how is your libido doing? And I will say, I didn't used to get aroused just by seeing women after I took finasteride. Getting aroused wasn't particularly easy. Now I can actually, if I think about it, I sometimes do think about sex, completely unprovoked and things like that. I actually have a libido. I didn't have that before, with the post finasteride syndrome. So I'd say my libido is doing as good as it probably ever has, even since I was, and maybe not when I was a teenager, because puberty, your hormones are super high, but just thinking even in my 20s and things like that, yeah, I feel like my libido is back. And I'm actually very happy about that, and I would say that it is very largely due to the the HCG. Once I got off of the SERM, which is the Clomid slash tamoxifen and everything like that, everything has kind of stabilized, and I feel like I have libido. And second question people have asked me is, how's my erection quality? Can I keep erections? Things of that nature. And I will say, I was taking Cialis for a little while. I stopped taking it to see, is it the Cialis that's giving me the ability to get good erections, or can I maintain good erections just with my own natural body's abilities? And I will say, yeah, I can go more than once now, without issue, and that was without Cialis. And then if I wanted to do more than, let's say, two, because two is where it's I really don't have any issues, then I would probably recommend taking it in general, because honestly, I'm in my 30s, I'm not in my 20s anymore, and it's I sometimes you need a little bit of assistance if you're trying to keep up in that manner. So I would say that, like, for the most part, this is like, my erectile dysfunction is pretty much cured. I don't want to, knock on wood. I want to see after I'm off the naloxone, but we're talking a few months after I've been off of the HCG. This isn't like one of those like post finasteride syndrome. Like, oh, I feel better for a couple of weeks, and then things start to tumble backwards. Like it's been holding for months now, and I hope that continues. If I'm gonna be honest. Um, and then like another question has been a refractory period. Like after you've orgasmed, how long does it take? I could go back at it within 10 to 15 minutes. Like I'm back at it. Just I would say reasonable to like where I used to be when I was in my 20s. Like I'm like it like the refractory period's back to normal. I don't have to wait like an entire day before I can have another orgasm, and then otherwise it's really hard to maintain erections or have orgasms. So, yeah, it's all good news on that front. You know, again, this treatment worked for me. I don't know if it'll work for everybody. I suggest you talk to your doctor, or if you can afford it, to talk with Marek Health, because they can probably get you on a protocol that can help. Because I feel like I'm one of those use cases, or one of those cases where it's cure. I think there is light at the end of the tunnel. I think it's curable. It's just that we didn't know what we know now. 5, 10 years ago, there wasn't a lot of good literature out there. So, and there was scam artists trying to get people on herbal supplements and things like that. But yeah, like for what more or less, I feel like it's like all of the sexual difficulties that I had before are pretty much gone. If I was to have any issues, it would probably be psychological at this point, because from a physical standpoint, I don't think there's anything wrong. And then this is going off of the sexual side of it, and this is just talking about, let's talk about like muscle mass and my mental state, like, or like being able to work out in my mental state. So I will say I'm gaining strength back. I've gained pretty much all my strength back. I'm like maybe sitting at like 30, 40 pounds below my previous bests in terms of lifting. But to give you an idea of that, I just I knocked out 405 for a set of five on the squats recently, and I still had gas in the tank, but I'm trying not to aggravate some. I'm trying not to aggravate my hip, because I've been having some issues like coming back, that like I've been working on a lot of mobility and stability issues that I've had, trying to prevent myself from injuring myself. But and then deadlift, recently I pulled 505 for a single, and I probably had another 20, 30 pounds I could have lifted on top of that, but I called it there, because one rep maxes in general are incredibly taxing and risky from an injury perspective. So and muscle mass, so I'm sitting in the 230s. I'd say I'm gonna guess anywhere from 18 to 21% body fat right now. And before, when I was in the 230s, I was 25% plus. So I'm holding more muscle mass than I have had probably ever in my life, at this weight. And I'm the leanest I've ever been at this weight. I can very confidently say that. So, I would say that finesse PFS was definitely holding me back, because even when I was training right and I was in the surplus and everything like that, muscle didn't come on nearly as fast as it has once I took the HCG and everything like that. And even after being off the HCG, I'm getting stronger, even though I'm in a deficit. So I would say that it's helped me in the physical aspect as well. And then of course mentally, I do get run down sometimes because I'm not sleeping enough at times. So like there are some times when I feel tired and things like that. But most of the depression, like I don't like feel depressed all the time, unless like there's a lot of things going on in my life that's stressing me out. I might have some issues, but I have way more drive than I ever have had. I have more confidence than I've had in a very long time. I feel pretty good in general. The only thing that sucks is that I'm in a calorie deficit, so I'm starting to feel some of the, I gas out during workouts sometimes, but that just kind of comes with working out in a deficit and trying to burn fat. So, yeah, like, I, I feel very fortunate that that this protocol helped, even though I did have some side effects and I had to take some stuff to prevent gyno and things like that. There were some, some road bumps along the way, but yeah, uh, things are going well so far. And I'm not going to stop doing an update on this until I get my next set of blood work done and I'm off of the naloxone for like probably at least a few weeks, so it's out of my system, so the blood concentration levels are at a near zero amount, and see if I'm still good. If I'm still doing well and I'm still feeling good and lifting's going well and everything else is going well, like I'm definitely gonna let you know, and I'll let you see my blood work and everything like that, to see my I'll show my pre blood work and my post blood work, pre HCG, post HCG, to see if my numbers improved, got worse, stayed the same, but then we fixed the progesterone issue that generally comes along with post finasteride syndrome. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I wanted to give you that update. I know a lot of people have been asking. So, and you know what? I appreciate that, because I really want to help other people that have this condition, because it's not a great place to be when if you do, or you don't have a girlfriend, or if you're just trying to be or a boyfriend, or whatever, however, whatever your sexual preferences are. Uh, uh, I would say, like, not being able to perform for them is, and also feeling like crap, and not doing well in the gym and all those other kinds of things. It's brutal. It's a brutal thing to have, and it's all from just trying to save your hair. It's yeesh, it's it's a scary thought, and the thing is, it's not a thing that's talked about enough, in my opinion, in terms of a risk factor, because I see people being like, oh, it's not that common, or it's only X%, it's only a few percent. But it's just like, yeah, but there's some people that took 2 or 3 doses and then they're screwed up for the next 4 years. Like, this is like, it's like, this is something that, now that we finally have, like, that there's some treatments and things like that, I feel like the drug isn't as risky from a mental health standpoint. So that's what I wanted to put out there. I wanted to say thank you all for watching. Keep on hitting that subscribe button. I hit the like button, so then people will some more people will see the video, and hopefully it'll help more people out. I'm trying to grow the channel, because I do also want to kind of sort of, once I'm done with the HCG, talking about biohacking, taking different supplements, giving reviews of that, and also gonna grow into like my bowling journey and things like that, because it's just like I'm trying to provide my journey through life and kind of try and share it with everybody, and also, so that's kind of where I want this channel to go. In any event, thank you all for being here, and stay safe.